Welcome back.
Thank you, Colin.
Hey, you guys, it's episode 124 of the Global Diamond Broker. That's me, Hard Truth Diamond Podcast, because this is where we talk about the hard truths of the industry. And young Branko here, who I've known for Branko Deljanin, internationally respected author, scientist, the diamond scientist. How else do you describe yourself?
People see me as an educator, people who train people in different countries.
All over the world, Branko travels
Instructor.
and speaks. And what do you speak on mostly?
Okay, my most popular workshop, one that I did in India exactly a month ago, is screening and ID of natural treated diamonds and separate from synthetic. How to separate?
Natural treated diamonds.
And synthetic.
So
the three categories of diamonds, as you maybe know, like in the book, natural, treated, and laboratory grown. And this is what I'm separating them using standard instruments that people can use, like this little UV lamp, or some advanced I use in the laboratory. This is a two different way to do it. Screen them, and then finally ID them with advanced instruments.
yeah, fascinating stuff. It only worked every single time, because it doesn't. We'll talk more about that. So tell me about India. Here we go, you guys. Thank you for coming back. Branko Deljanin with us. You're at least one of the leading scientists in the industry in the world, and educator. You're absolutely right. Tell us about India. You went over, you brought some things back.
Yes. I was first time in India 1998 for the Diamond Show. Now I came longer for 2 weeks.
When you say India, which cities have you?
I flew to Mumbai. I did a workshop at HRD Laboratory in Mumbai for the trade.
Nice.
And then I did one free talk for the students at the college of in Mumbai, and then move up by train. Interesting trip to Surat, which is like 5 hours on the train.
Right.
Where is the center of the cutting industry. Every 9 out of 10 diamonds are cut in India. Probably not this college.
Yes.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 diamonds that are cut in the world are cut in India. Surat, which is the biggest cutting center in the world. In fact, the bourse in Surat, you've heard me talk recently about the president of the International Diamond Bourses going on, writing a letter about the fact that one of the problems the mine diamond industry is having is the fact that our young people care more about human rights than the romantic story. I can't think of more oxymoronic statement that the youth of today, the Gen Zs, the millennials, are actually caring more about the planet and people than the story associated with love that comes from a mine diamond.
Yeah, actually that bourse, I was there. It's bigger size by building than Pentagon building in
It's
Russia.
the biggest building in the world. That's
Amazing.
right. That's exactly right.
Very
So
empty,
that
very empty for
diamond
1 year,
bourse.
very empty. Only few companies are doing business there, but hopefully it will pick up again.
But that's a sign of the times. You hear what Branko, who's just been there, said. Only a few companies operating now. Nobody saw what was happening to the mine diamond industry coming. And if they did see it coming, and I'm talking specifically, Branko, about the laboratory created diamond industry decimating the mine diamond industry, they didn't have a solution, and they don't have a solution today. And Branko and I were talking, and he accused me of being what did you call me? A lab-grown diamond guy. I can assure you, I am not. We are specialists. I'm certainly on Argyle Pink Diamonds, one of the leading guys in the world, having been a authorized partner for the mine. You can go on our Instagram and see multi-million-dollar invoices from me buying pink diamonds there. Not at all. The reality is what I deal in. The facts are what I deal in. When clients come to see us, they're getting the straight goods. So you heard that here first. Surat, the biggest building in the world, it's empty. There's no diamond. There's no mine diamonds.
I was in the factories with 4,000 cutters cutting diamonds. They were relatively busy. I'm not saying not busy. I also went to factories who grow diamonds. If you've never seen how it looks crystal or 3D diamond, this is, I'm holding one, 5 carat, over 5 carat. So it takes 25 days to grow a diamond like this.
Marin, maybe after Marvelous Marin behind the camera, we can get those from and get some video for our clients to show what's going on.
After they remove this carbon on the surface, this is how it looks afterwards. It's more clean and like this, and more transparent. Hopefully you can see it. This is a 1 carat diamond after cut.
So these are darker colors. These would be more like a champagne color.
Yes, so these kind of stones usually could be colorless, could be colored. This is a book I wrote with the GRS laboratory on pink, yellow and blue diamonds that are grown in the laboratory. They could be any color.
Amazing what's going on in the laboratories now.
Yes, so CVD could be any color. Usually they need some kind of enhancement treatments to make color colorless, blue or pink. And this is my job to separate this from natural colors and natural diamonds.
But even then, you can't be right 100% of the time. We were just talking about the fact, flawless Ds. I mean, the technology's advancing so quickly is the issue that I have as well. I mean, lab-grown diamonds, and Branko, you and I have talked about this. A few years ago, we could tell by looking. We could tell by looping. Now you need science up the yin-yang. We know that these testers that are on jewelry store shelves are not conclusive. So never let your jeweler convince you that it is conclusive, because they're not. It's the GIA or no way, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't agree completely, but because other labs could as well. So basically, this is a little kit I designed called Synthetic Diamond Kit. Idea is
hang on, this is a little kit you designed called the Little Diamond Kit?
Synthetic Diamond Kit.
Oh, the Synthetic Diamond Kit.
Basically, key is that not to use one instrument. So if you use only one instrument, let's say UV light, you get 95% accuracy, 96. You still 4-6% or you're not sure. Then use another instrument to combine. This is a light and cross polarized filters. Then your accuracy is 98, 99. Then you need one more test. I didn't bring everything. It's a really mini spectrometer. So 3 tests. In 5 minutes, you can detect, I think, with 3 tests, any diamond.
Branko, respectfully, in 5 minutes with 3 machines, you can detect. I don't think our listeners or most jewelers in the world.
I'm teaching you a half-day, one-day program. Of course, in 100 samples, they learn at the end of the day.
So they can get the equipment, and then they can go back to their store, and again, not completely conclusive, but these 3 pieces will get you to 99% sure.
So see, where is the problem? There is no problem. As you know, a lot of people, unfortunately, are not honest. I recently have a guy who bought a chain. I will send you this for the video later. Chain of 110 diamonds, half carat each. Bought as natural, brought to me. 108 were synthetic, 2 were natural. And the smart guy used a smart machine from GID 100 to touch these 1-2 diamonds to say, oh look, it's green, it's past, it's natural. And then sold him the rest. And guy was shocked now using my report to get money back. He paid $60,000 what you know how much it will cost 50 carat diamonds if they're natural, could be probably 150, 200,000. But anyway, he get the deal, but now he's basically, he was cheated. So I'm not saying all people are cheating, but there are people like that.
Of course there are people cheating.
And I'm putting this on Facebook and my social media just to warn people to be careful, to ask for report.
It's interesting because with our global reach, India is one of the big countries where we have the GIA class over there that literally tunes into our lives and asks lots of questions. Mm-hmm. Our live is on Tuesdays and Fridays now at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss it. It's fascinating. We get better and better questions every single week. But we were approached by a company, because we're quite well known in India, a company that called us up and called our WhatsApp number, like you can if you want to talk, you want a quote, you want anything like that, just to spend quality time together. And they were selling GIA certified diamonds, counterfeit. The diamonds are laser inscribed to match the GIA counterfeit certificate. and the diamonds were CVD. How many would we like? They don't care. And you know, counterfeiting of GIA certificates and laser inscriptions, it's not like the governments really care. It's not like you're counterfeiting $100 bills or $20 bills. It's a different ball game. Caveat emptor, and I mean that's what I hear you saying. Buyer beware.
Yeah. They even bought a moissanite in Vancouver, who the laser inscribed GIA reported is a real diamond 135 hearts and arrow ideal cut, but it's moissanite.
Yeah, that's a if someone
Much
buys
easier to detect, of course.
it's moissanite is totally. I can look at moissanite. It's funny. I go to parties, and what'll happen is I'll walk in the door and people start to introduce me, and all of a sudden people put their hands behind their backs. Girls take their earrings off, because if it's moissanite, I got you. Busted. Anyway, not so with lab-grown diamonds. And this is, you know, this mind. Branko accused me of being a lab-grown diamond guy. Again, I'm pro-choice. You know, whether you want mine or lab, as long as you know the facts. And one of the big facts is no one in the world. I mean, Branko's using 3 machines to get to 99%. No one in the world, at least he says 99%. I'll test them and let you know.
I can do 100% if you do 4th instrument I have.
Oh, yeah, 4.
I have in the lab. They're not portable. Talk about portable instrument. I can bring to my shows, my workshops 3. At laboratory, I have infrared spectrometer. It is a more desk model that can tell the type of diamonds. For example, there are 2 retro diamonds here. You see, one brownish, one yellow. Even they look very similar, the different shape. Do you agree? Calling one more rounded, the octahedron.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So this is a type 2 diamond, very rare in nature, 2-3%. This is very common type 1. So basically, it's possible to screen these diamonds by shape if they're rough, or using UV light or these what we call cross-polarized filters, and we can tell the type of diamond. That way you eliminate those who could be removed color. So there's a way to screen them before they come to be to you in a jewelry. Of course, more complicated in jewelry, I agree, but when they're loose, you can screen them with the portable instruments and tell type 1, type 2, possible to be natural, possible to be CVD, by these simple instruments called polariscope and light, basically.
So we've got 4 instruments, one of them that's not transportable. So really, what's the solution then? Like, if I'm out there and I think about this stuff, Branko, and I know you and I have these great talks about this. If I'm out there buying a diamond, you know, how do I know? What, you know, like you talk about the guy, the jeweler, like, and that sounds crazy to me, puts 2 real ones in and tests those. Yeah. And even that test is not conclusive. Did those pieces have GIA certificates?
No.
So we had no GIA.
So
if you're buying diamonds today without a GIA that's verifiable and authenticated, it's on you.
Or my lab in Canada is the people using me a lot in Canada.
Well, I use you a lot, right? But it's on you.
Yeah.
And Branko, frankly, even if they have a GIA, they need you to verify the GIA.
Exactly.
Right? Like, that's my point. The GIA are no friggin' way. IGI is a lie. And are you safe to comment on IGI? The latest, and it's international, they're growing like crazy. They're a fraction of what the GIA does. I think it's like 10% to 90% are
they're
GIA.
Big laboratory grown diamond. They're bigger than GIA, I think. In India, they're huge.
Well, the problem is, though, that it's not an honest, independent certification. IGI offices in India literally are in the manufacturing, which is where you got these from, and the person who manages them is the person who's producing the laboratory-created diamonds. Can you see a conflict? GIA is completely independent. All their laboratories, all their campuses in the world. And while we're talking about GIA, because of what's happening, and guys, I don't want you to wonder what's happening with mine diamonds. I refer to it as a dodo bird. It's in bigger trouble than any of you know. You know, we reported 18 months ago when the GIA, because of what's going on with the mine diamond industry, who, by the way, is very close with De Beers, they have the inside track. They literally laid off 150 employees because they didn't have there's always once during the podcast.
But you know the difference between a laboratory of De Beers, maybe you know this, IIDGR, International Diamond Institute, and GIA. I think there's a big difference. They don't grade laboratory grown synthetic diamonds. De Beers will not do this. GIA went along the mainstream of IGI, EGL, and other labs to grade it to make money. De Beers laboratory decided not to grade it. That way, they're not promoting it. Understand? If you grade it, you're kind of putting in the same category with natural. Just, of course, is 10 times cheaper or more. You know this better than me. So they decided not to grade. This is interesting, I think. GA went to the way to grade it, I think, to do a lot of business. I mean, why do they do this?
But why do this? Because they're not done. And don't think for 1 second that the GIA, I believe, Branko, who's been in the lab-grown diamond industry for 70 years, 70 years that they've been producing lab-grown diamonds, trying to stay ahead.
No, it's not. I mean, talking about reports.
1956, so 68 years. They started working with laboratory-created diamonds.
I mean, the research.
Okay, so yes, they have been. Why not a solution? Why is the mine diamond business getting decimated? Why? How did they let this happen? And you know, one of the things I talk about a lot on my show is the GIA and certain things that really hurt. And look, I grew up in this industry. I'm kind of the GOAT. I've been at more levels in this industry. I've opened national retail chains. I've represented probably the most prestigious diamond mine in the world, the Argyle Pink Diamond Mine. I've opened very successful businesses. Why did De Beers let this happen, and where's it going to end up? See, I don't believe for 1 second that De Beers and the GIA are not in cahoots. And if you recall, cahoots is they're not in bed together at some level, because I know they are. You've heard me talk about
they're competition now in point of laboratory. They're competition to each other.
But let's not kid ourselves. They position themselves like that. But they're best friends. They've been best friends for 100 years, since 1939 when the GIA started doing the 4 Cs. So what's going on? Why did they let it happen? And here's the big one. The GIA said for decades, we will never, ever, ever certify lab-grown diamond, although they did certify them by mistake before this as real. I mean, this is, you can Google this stuff. Remember all the green diamonds that were treated and they couldn't tell?
It's not lab-grown. This is just
that was in our lives. I showed you diamonds like that.
Ones, yeah, treated natural.
So
like this. This is treated green diamonds that are natural, that are treated like this is rough.
But again, the GIA didn't catch it. They said they would never, ever, ever certify lab-grown diamonds, and then out of nowhere, a couple of years ago, they started certifying lab-grown diamonds, which was one more nail in the coffin, and I hate that term, for the mine diamond industry. Where's it going to end up? Where are we going to see it after this holiday season?
But I talked to a few people in Canada and India. I even was in the same car with the British people, head of India. We went to the natural diamond mine, Krishna River, amazing trip. Where is a famous Koh-i-Noor diamond.
Koh-i-Noor diamond mine, probably the most famous diamond
Black
mine
Coral
of all,
diamond,
white diamond mine of all.
I was there at the mine at Krishna River, traveling 5 hours. I was very excited to go to the mine, even if it's a small diamond.
Here we have pictures of you on a motorcycle.
Yes.
Okay, traveling. Was the whole trip 5 hours on a motorcycle?
No, 1 hour motorcycle. They're small diamonds like this, but I was very happy to get them because they're from that area. You know?
Right, of course.
Historical from 16th, 15th century. There were sometime 60,000 people looking for diamonds in this one river, you know, along the river. It was an amazing story. This is how diamonds become popular and a symbol of love from India. Vedic, very old tradition. Anyway, so I see that they're coming back, promotion for natural diamonds. I don't know if you notice it in magazines and in chains.
In fact, not only
in
do I
US,
notice
in
it,
China.
I notice the lies are telling again to convince. Branko, I get up in the morning, I have my Google alerts. Set your Google alerts to diamonds, colored diamonds, blue diamonds, green diamonds, white diamonds, diamonds at auction, diamonds at... I get every piece of news every day and I read it all. And, you know, the fact that, you know, De Beers is now in their ads using sex to sell, I don't like it. I think it's inappropriate. I think they're desperate. And I think they're desperate for a very good reason. I think that their industry, as it was, is in true trouble. I mean,
I think temporary trouble. I think natural diamonds will come back eventually because laboratory grown. I saw the cost of production. I'm not going to tell it now publicly because to respect to the people who are cutting and processing.
I'll get them to tell me later, and then I'll tell you guys. Okay. So.
But actually, it's in my newsletter, so it's not a secret anymore. Would you guess how much it costs to make 1 carat diamond like this? I mean, everything.
You already told me.
From
yeah, but that's not a
to produce,
hang on. So no. Okay, so yeah, out of the lab it's very cheap. Out of the earth they're very cheap. I mean, if De Beers didn't do the price fixing that they've been doing for generations, generational price fixing, they were a monopoly. They told absolute lies to generate sales. Like, you know, they cost nothing.
It's not true.
It is really?
No. I'm geologist. My wife work in a big many companies as a consultant. It used to be BHP, Ekati,
right. BHP, Ekati, those are the
Stornoway Diamond used to have mining in Renard. They closed
right.
unfortunately.
Stornoway, yeah.
So to find the kimberlite pipe takes 5 years out of 100. 1 or 2 has the diamonds, and then these 2. Maybe one is economical, whatever. I'm just guessing numbers. So it's not easy to find and to produce. Usually they're in remote areas. It takes lots of money to.
Yeah, you know why they're in remote areas? Do you know why they're?
Diamonds are not rare as much.
De Beers doesn't want you seeing the ripping up of the earth. De Beers calls themselves, because no one ever sees the mines. They're in these remote areas.
They always cover up with this policy.
Don't forget who you're talking to here, okay? I don't swallow the bullshit that the industry follows. I know the facts. I've been doing this too long, okay? That diamond out of the mine was price fixed. It's price fixed today. We saw a 40% decrease. Then explain to me, when I had lunch with Coxon in 2008, he's the head of De Beers Diamonds. I think he's still the head of De Beers Diamonds. And he invited me to lunch to talk. It's like when I was invited by De Beers to Vancouver Island to be an expert on changing the grading system of the GIA. Did I ever tell you about that? And we sat there while they changed clarity to sell more crappy diamonds. Horrible stuff, horrible manipulation of the market. Today, Branko, we're dealing with the stockpiles. I mean, if it's a rare stone, why do they have stockpiles
I think it's
of
also
them?
the new generation being more open to the new product, and they're brainwashed that lab-grown diamonds and environmentally friendly, cost less. I've seen factories that 24 hours they're using energy. Energy comes from coal business in India, not from the fine wind mills or something. It's really dirty energy in these countries, India, China. So, and there's a lot of energy. So, I'm not saying it has to be really done with the facts, what is really environmentally friendly. Or they brainwash them, this is a good product because...
Branko, wait a sec. And I'm glad we're having this conversation.
Yeah, it's a good discussion.
But by the same token, the Indian government is also producing them as a green product, where they're producing them through using solar energy. I understand where these old stories about energy
I've never
come
seen
from.
it in India.
Well, you
Maybe
can
in
look
Israel
at
it was.
look at the stone
They closed the
that
factory in India. In Israel.
look at the stone that Green Diamond Corporation gave to the president of India to give to Joe Biden. Oh, sorry for leaning away there. I get in trouble when I lean away. So, yeah, look, I mean, that was completely environmentally friendly. There's going to be these advances. Certainly in the start, I completely agree, but that's no longer the case anymore. Where, here's my other one that came up recently, and this all came up when I saw the quote from the Diamond Board, the head of the Bourses talking about the industry, where he talked about the fact that, you know, millennials, and I've heard Martin Rappaport, respect the guy all to death, but how much he hates millennials because they like to deal in facts and information. It is the information age. But the head of the Bourses came out and said, look, they care more about human rights. And so I followed that trail, and here's what happened. Children are mining the diamonds in Africa. Children are mining the diamonds in Africa. And here's what the power of De Beers did. Instead of making that illegal, they lobbied the government. And some of these countries, you know this, that's the country's income, is diamonds. And De Beers said, well, we need to lower the age to allow children to mine diamonds. I wonder if Nike's going to do that, to allow children to make sneakers.
They do already.
I mean, pardon me?
They do already.
But did they lower the age? Did they lower the age to make it legal? This is what De Beers has done.
Are cutting diamonds in India or working in the factories to grow diamonds. So it's a question of policy of the local government.
I think it's a question of what you want on your finger.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I think.
I mean, this is the reason it's my initiative, my wife, but also a few people in Korean diamond industry in Australia, to make a documentary movie about facts, natural diamonds and lab grown. Put them with the facts. You know, visit people who are involved in finding first diamonds in Canada, in Australia, whatever. Go to India even and talk to people and put the facts on the table, and then people can decide by themselves.
Yeah, but who's the judge? Like, if we believe what De Beers says, and we can't, I'm sorry, you cannot. I know the campaigns that you're listening to right now about, I mean, the latest one is somehow lab-grown diamonds are going to drive up the price of mined diamonds. Well, I mean, how? How's that even possible? You know, if you put it in a certain paradigm, I mean, the mining industry globally is in trouble, whether you're mining anything. We become greener and greener every day. Human rights are becoming more important. I mean, you know, the only mine that I really trust ultimately, because I'm at, to a certain degree, the rough, De Beers mixes it still. They mix all the rough together still. Now they're trying to convince you they know where it came from. I mean, this is horse hockey.
Yeah. But,
listen, I want to continue this conversation. Yeah. I'd like to have you back next week. How are you for next week?
I know. I'll do one more time before Christmas for sure.
Okay, because we'll get you. Oh, that's right. It's the time of year. Yeah, we'll get you back to expand on these things.
December.
Because when I sit down with you, I learn a lot. I've learned a lot today. I've learned a lot through my entire career. I'm going to give you the last 5 minutes.
Not enough time to talk about everything, but this is a collection of diamonds that I'm teaching. Just a collection of treated diamonds. All of them are natural diamonds, but they're treated. See? So
is that little guy pink over here?
Yeah. This is the pink that is treated.
Really?
This is CVD that is treated.
So, because now, see, that looks like a real argyle to me.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
That's why using this simple UV box and this fluorescence book with the picture of the Collins.
Hey, look at that! The hummingbird, created by Peter Bruder, who's done jewelry for the Queen of England.
You go to the page, pink diamond, you can see natural, it is treated, fluorescent like this. What I don't know if you can see it, but very chalky, orangey.
If it fluoresces.
And natural from argon fluoresces blue. This is what I'm teaching people how to screen with the fluorescence. In this case, pinks, green, colorless, yellow. This is screening instrument, not a final ID, but at least you know what's the trouble if you have hundreds of them. You know, calling you have melon pink diamonds are also expensive.
Yeah.
If they're natural, synthetic, or treated, this is important to know.
So diamond mixing now is where they're getting away with it.
Yeah, for sure.
By putting them together with natural in mind. Which, by the way, you know, and again, for decades they were doing this and we didn't know. Guys like you and I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Right?
So next level is good you're doing that. You're spreading the word through internet and through the podcast. My next things in 2025 is to do serious lecture in clubs, like terminal club, and the people come and want to learn more about diamonds for the consumers, not only for the trade.
Yes.
My next kind of not goal, but next direction, I can say.
That's awesome, Branko. So here you are, a world leading expert, me, just kidding, Branko Deljanin, an educator across the world. This is what's going on in the industry today, and I really enjoyed our conversation today. We don't always agree, but I'm always right.
It's your show, but I have to put
it's my show.
It's my opinion. I'm not promoting lab-grown diamonds. I test them, but I mean, they are good products if you know what you're buying and pay good price. If you're cheated, then definitely it's not way to do business.
Well, it's an exciting time either way in the diamond industry. It certainly has drawn the attention of the world back to an industry that's been around forever. I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate your wisdom. It's nice to have you back in town after India. And by the way, when we talk about diamond mines, all the diamond mines, all the head offices in North America and the world are right here in Vancouver. And so this is ground zero for diamonds. This is not
for exploration.
This is the primary location. So we're here. Great to have you back, my friend. And you've got questions. We've got the answers. Don't hesitate to contact us. And Branko, how can they best get hold of you? We will put up your name and number when we...
The best is my website, www.brankogems.com, where I do a lot of posting on my education conference, the next one in US, Montana, sapphire trips. And
shouldn't you be getting permission to use my...
You gave me, don't worry.
Oh, did I? Okay.
And there are a lot of books you can buy, of course, if you want to learn about laboratory grown diamonds, like this book, sold in 5,000 copies, 3 editions. More technical for trade is this one with Vulcano, Lava. So a lot of books actually for different levels. This is very simple, consumer level. Anybody can read this book and understand how to screen pink gemstones.
Can I have that one as well?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, you guys. We appreciate you coming back this week. We appreciate your time, your attention. Hope you got something out of this. I did, that's for sure. You've got questions. We've got answers. Don't hesitate.
Thank you, Juan.
God bless. Thanks, Branko.